Today, we're going to dive into a story that is so middle school. It's all about fitting in, trying desperately not to stand out, and, well, a super awkward moment with a bunch of red roses that, believe it or not, changes absolutely everything. Let's get into it. Okay, so think about it for a sec. What's the number one unspoken rule of middle school? Is it who you sit with at lunch? Who you're seen talking to in the halls? It's like there are a million of these secret rules, and it's a full-time job just trying not to break them. Well, this story is all about what happens when one of those rules gets totally shattered. All right, so let's meet Leela, and her goal in life is probably the same as yours, mine, and pretty much every eighth grader who has ever existed. Just fit in. Don't make waves, don't get noticed, just kind of fly under the radar. So for Lila, fitting in had one really important strategy. You had to avoid anyone who stood out. And that brings us to this kid named Derek. You know how it is, right? Derek, well, he was just different. And because of that, he had this permanent, invisible spotlight on him that he never asked for. So everyone, including Leela, kept their distance. Now, she wasn't mean to him or anything. She just followed that unwritten rule. Stay away, and maybe that spotlight won't swing over to you. But this is where things start to get complicated. Because even though Leela was doing everything she could to ignore him, Derek starts leaving her little gifts. And we're not talking about anything big. It was stuff like, the little prize you get out of a cereal box or a trinket from a gumball machine. They would just show up in her locker, on her desk. And instead of being sweet, every single one of these gifts felt like it was pushing her more and more into that spotlight she was running from. And this is where you can see the total miscommunication. I mean, look at it from his side. He's just trying to be nice, trying to get a girl's attention. A kind gesture, right? But from her side, this kind gesture is causing a massive social disaster. She's not flattered. She's annoyed and honestly kind of resentful. And yep, here's what happens next. The teasing starts. Her friends start in with the whole sing-songy "Layla has a boyfriend" chant. The one thing she wanted to just be invisible was now totally impossible. She was the center of attention, and for all the wrong reasons. So all of this pressure just keeps building and building and building until it explodes in one single moment, a showdown. And of course, it happens in the most public, high-pressure place in the entire school, the lunchroom. Can you just picture this? The noise of 100 conversations, everyone watching everything. There is literally no escape. And here comes Derek, walking right for her, holding a dozen red roses. And tucked inside the flowers was this note. I mean, he's really putting himself out there, right? He knows he's not the coolest kid, but he's being hopeful. But you gotta remember where Lila's head is at in this moment. That was her immediate, honest thought. Not, oh, how sweet. No, it was pure, hot, unfiltered anger. He's standing there, hopeful, and all she can feel are the hundreds of eyes on her, and she is just furious. So she just snaps. All that frustration comes pouring out, and she tells him, in front of everyone, to go away. It's harsh, it's public, and it feels like the absolute worst possible outcome for both of them. But then, in that split second right after she says it, everything changes. Her entire point of view is about to get completely flipped on its head, all because of one tiny little thing she sees. This is it. This is the moment. All of her anger, her embarrassment, it just evaporates. Because all she can see is his bottom lip start to quiver. He's about to cry, in the middle of the lunchroom, and she knows exactly what that means in middle school. What's happening to her right here, it's a textbook case of empathy. It's that lightning bolt moment where you suddenly stop thinking about yourself, and you can literally feel what the other person is feeling. She's not in her own shoes anymore, she's in his. And she does this lightning-fast calculation in her head. She knows if he starts crying, he's going to get a nickname like Crybaby that could follow him for years. And all of a sudden, protecting him from that pain felt way more important than her own social survival. So what she does next doesn't just save him in that moment. It completely changes her. It's pretty amazing to see how this one choice created something so powerful inside her. You can really break her journey down into these 3 steps. First, she saw someone else was vulnerable, that he was about to get really hurt. Second, she chose to be compassionate, even though it was the most uncomfortable, awkward thing for her to do. And third, In doing that, she found this strength she had no idea she had. And she knows what a big deal it was. She looks back on it as the moment she started to grow up, to become mature. It's that shift from only worrying about yourself to realizing, hey, I can actually protect someone else. And this is the final image of the story. Those roses, which just a minute ago were a symbol of total humiliation, are now a symbol of her strength. She takes them, and she doesn't hide. She walks through the hall, head held high, feeling untouchable. Not because she finally fit in, but because she chose to stand up. So that kind of leaves us with this question. Middle school is just jam-packed with these tough moments, these choices that feel like the biggest deal in the world. But sometimes the hardest choice, the one where you pick kindness over what's easy, that's the one that really shows you who you are.